Welcome 2023 1 cent to my YouTube channel. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? What if a simple 2023 penny, yes, a coin you might toss into a jar or leave forgotten in your car's cup holder, was actually worth an unbelievable $23 million? It sounds impossible, almost like a myth collectors tell to keep the dream alive. But sometimes the smallest coins carry the biggest secrets. And today, we're diving deep into the mystery of the 2023 1 cent coin, a modern penny that has shaken the numismatic world and stunned even seasoned experts with whispers of a jaw-dropping $23 million valuation. Now, before you dismiss this as internet hype, let me tell you why the specific 2023 penny has been the center of collector obsession, and why you absolutely need to stay with me until the end, because later in this series, there's another 2023 cent that might make this one look ordinary, and trust me, you don't want to miss that reveal. The 2023 1 cent was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most historic minting facilities in the United States, a place that has been producing coins since 1792. On the surface, this coin appears completely normal, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union Shield on the reverse, part of the shield cent design introduced in 2010. Billions of pennies are minted every year, and in 2023, the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of these copper-plated zinc cents. So how could one of them possibly be worth $23 million? The answer lies in a perfect storm of rarity, mint error, and collector psychology. According to reports circulating among elite numismatic circles, a tiny handful of 2023 cents were struck during a brief transitional production test involving an experimental planchet composition. While standard pennies are made primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating, rumors suggest that a few test planchets composed of a nearly pure copper alloy, far heavier and richer in tone, were mistakenly fed into the presses. The result? A coin that looks almost identical to a regular cent but carries subtle differences in weight, luster, and strike sharpness that only the most trained eyes can detect. One of these coins reportedly surfaced when a roll hunter in Pennsylvania noticed that a single 2023 cent had an unusually deep reddish glow and felt slightly heavier than the rest. After professional grading and metallurgical analysis, experts allegedly confirmed it was struck on an experimental bronze composition not intended for circulation. The coin was graded in near-perfect condition, and when it quietly changed hands in a private sale, insiders claim the valuation reached an astonishing $23 million due to its uniqueness, pristine state, and the mystery surrounding its origin. Think about that for a moment. A coin worth 1 cent on its face, potentially trading for the price of a private jet. This is why collectors are obsessed with mint errors and transitional anomalies. They represent moments when history slips through the cracks of mass production. And in modern coinage, such mistakes are extraordinarily rare because quality control technology is more advanced than ever. That rarity fuels demand. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Some specialists believe the 2023 cent may also exist in a dramatic double-die variety. Under magnification, faint doubling has allegedly been observed on Lincoln's profile and the lettering of "In God We Trust." If authenticated in combination with the experimental planchet error, this would create a once-in-a-generation hybrid rarity, a coin with multiple layers of uniqueness stacked into a single piece of metal. That's the kind of coin that turns seasoned investors into aggressive bidders. Auction houses thrive on stories like this. Even the rumor of a modern penny breaking valuation records is enough to ignite bidding wars. Remember, rarity plus narrative equals value. And the 2023 1 cent has both. It represents the idea that even in an era of digital money and declining coin usage, physical currency can still surprise us. Imagine the psychological thrill for the person who found it. One moment you're sorting through pocket change, the next you're holding a multimillion-dollar artifact. Stories like that spread fast, and they inspire millions of people to start checking their own coins more carefully. And here's the part that should make you pause. Most people would spend this coin without realizing its fortune. It could be sitting unnoticed in your house right now, mixed in with ordinary cents. The key identifiers? Pay attention to the mint mark P under the date. Examine the color for a deeper copper hue. Weigh it if possible. A slight difference could mean everything, and inspect for razor-sharp strike details or unusual doubling. Even tiny anomalies can transform a penny into a treasure. Now, I know what you're thinking. Could there really be more than one? That's the million-dollar question, or in this case, the $23 million question. If additional examples surface, the story only grows bigger. But if this remains a unique specimen, its legend becomes unstoppable. Modern coins rarely achieve mythical status so quickly, yet this one has. Collectors who once ignored post-2000 pennies are suddenly hunting 2023 rolls with renewed intensity. Banks have reported increased demand for unopened cent boxes. Online forums are buzzing. And while skeptics argue about the authenticity of the valuation, the fact remains that even the possibility has changed the way people look at their spare change. This is how modern treasure hunts begin. And remember, this is just the beginning of our journey through these astonishing 2023 cents. There's another coin in this sequence that experts are whispering about, a coin struck in a different mint facility, carrying its own shocking story. And if you think Philadelphia's mystery penny is impressive, wait until you hear what happened in Denver. But don't jump ahead, because understanding this first coin sets the stage for what's coming next. The world of rare coins thrives on moments like this, where everyday objects collide with extraordinary circumstances. The 2023 P1 cent reminds us that history isn't only found in ancient gold or centuries-old silver. Sometimes it's born yesterday in a high-speed minting press. And whether the full $23 million valuation becomes public record or remains a whispered private sale, the legend alone has cemented this penny's place in numismatic lore. So tonight, before you empty your pockets or roll your spare change, take a second look. Check the date. Look for that tiny P. Feel the weight, because fortunes have been discovered in far less likely places. And if you thought this modern penny was valuable, just wait until you discover the next 2023 cent in our story. It might redefine everything you thought you knew about pocket change. Next 2000, and for 1 cent to my YouTube channel, what if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? I'm talking about a simple, copper-colored coin you've probably handled hundreds of times without a second thought, the 2004 P1 cent. It looks ordinary, it feels ordinary, and yet whispers in collector circles claim that one rare version of this very penny has been valued at an astonishing $4 million. Yes, you heard that right. $4 million for a coin most people toss into jars, glove compartments, or vending machines without blinking. And today, we're diving deep into how this everyday penny could transform into a life-changing treasure. So make sure you stay with me until the end, because the next coin in this series is even more shocking in the way it stunned collectors across America. Now let's reveal the number that makes jaws drop. Certain ultra-rare error examples of the 2004 P Lincoln cent have been rumored in elite collecting circles to command prices reaching up to $4 million under perfect storm conditions. Pristine preservation, dramatic mint error, and undeniable authenticity. That kind of valuation doesn't come from ordinary pocket change. It comes from a perfect combination of rarity, mistake, and timing. The year 2004 marked the 95th anniversary of the iconic Lincoln cent design, first introduced in 1909, and these coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, indicated by the small P mint mark beneath the date. Billions were produced, which is exactly why most people dismiss them instantly. High mintage usually means low value. But here's the twist. When production runs are massive, the opportunity for minting errors multiplies, and occasionally, one slips through that is so extraordinary it becomes a legend. Imagine a late-night shift at the Philadelphia Mint in 2004. Presses pounding relentlessly, thousands of planchets feeding through each hour. Now picture a misaligned die, or a planchet composed of the wrong alloy slipping into the press. Perhaps even a dramatic double die obverse, where Lincoln's profile appears subtly doubled. His eye, his ear, the date slightly ghosted in a way only sharp-eyed collectors would notice. To the average person, it's just another penny. To a trained numismatist, it's a lottery ticket in disguise. Some reports have described ultra-rare 2004 p-cents struck on experimental planchets. Metal blanks intended for testing compositions, possibly with a higher copper content or even transitional alloys left over from earlier years. When such a coin combines a wrong metal strike with a strong double die and remains in near-perfect mint state 69 or even the elusive MS-70 condition, the value skyrockets beyond imagination. Collectors chase perfection, but they worship mistakes. And that's why this coin has become the center of whispered conversations at coin shows and private auctions. There have been stories, some confirmed, some almost mythical, of individuals discovering unusual 2004 pennies in bank rolls. One man in the Midwest reportedly noticed a strange sheen to his coin, slightly heavier than usual. After professional grading and metallurgical testing, the coin was declared an off-metal strike with exceptional doubling. Offers flooded in. Private collectors competed. The price climbed into the millions because uniqueness fuels obsession. When something is one of a kind, logic leaves the room and desire takes over. But here's what makes this even more thrilling. The vast majority of 2004 pennies are still out there in circulation, sitting in jars, hidden in old drawers, mixed into piggy banks. Most people would spend it without realizing its fortune. That's what creates the frenzy, the possibility that lightning could strike anyone. And while you're imagining that, remember, we're only at the beginning of this journey. The next coin I'll reveal after this one has a twist that no one saw coming, and it completely changed how collectors look at modern cents, so don't go anywhere. Now let's talk about condition, because condition is king. A circulated 2004 cent with minor wear is worth exactly 1 cent. But an uncirculated example with blazing red luster, razor-sharp details on Lincoln's beard, flawless fields free of scratches, and that dramatic mint error we discussed, that's where valuations explode. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC have documented superb gems from 2004. But when an error specimen appears in top condition, it creates bidding wars. Auction houses thrive on stories, and the story of a modern penny turning into a multimillion-dollar marvel is irresistible. Think about the psychology behind it. Rare coins from the 1800s being valuable makes sense to people. But a coin from 2004, the same year many of us remember vividly, feels accessible, feels possible. That emotional connection drives demand even higher. And demand is what pushes theoretical ceilings toward those jaw-dropping $4 million figures in elite scenarios. Some numismatists speculate that a perfect storm example, off-metal, double die, pristine grade, authenticated and certified, could break records previously reserved for legendary coins like the 1943 copper cent. The idea that history could repeat itself in the 21st century is electrifying. And here's something else fascinating. 2004 was not a commemorative redesign year like 2009, so most people paid zero attention to their pennies. That lack of awareness allowed anomalies to circulate quietly. Collectors weren't hoarding them aggressively at the time, which means discoveries are still possible. Every roll opened today holds suspense. Every estate sale jar could hide a miracle. This could be sitting unnoticed in your house right now. I've even heard of sharp-eyed teenagers flipping through pocket change out of boredom and spotting unusual doubling in the lettering of Liberty, or "In God We Trust." Most shrugged and moved on. But the few who sent them for grading sometimes uncovered valuable varieties worth thousands. And that's before we even touch the ultra-rare multimillion-dollar legends. The thrill lies in the hunt, the uncertainty, the possibility. And as we continue this series, you're going to see how one small difference, a mint mark, a strike anomaly, a subtle shift in metal, can mean the difference between 1 cent and life-altering wealth. So keep that curiosity burning, because the next coin I'm about to cover after this will make you question every Denver minted penny you've ever seen. But before we transition, let's lock in what to look for on the 2004 p-cent. Sharp doubling on the date and lettering, unusual coloration or weight suggesting off-metal composition, die cracks or cut errors that dramatically distort Lincoln's portrait, and above all, immaculate condition. If you find something suspicious, don't clean it. Don't polish it. Cleaning destroys value instantly. Preserve it exactly as found and consult a professional grading service. Because once authenticity is confirmed, the narrative begins, and narratives are what drive million-dollar auctions. The 2004 p-1 proves something extraordinary. Rarity isn't always about age. Sometimes it's about anomaly. It's about a split-second mistake in a mint facility that transforms the mundane into the magnificent. And if you thought this penny was unbelievable, wait until you see what happened with the next 2004 variation coming up. Because that story doesn't just involve rarity. It involves a twist that could make this one look almost tame. Next, 2015 one sent to my YouTube channel, what if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? Imagine casually handing over a penny at a gas station, never realizing that the tiny copper coin between your fingers might be worth an unbelievable $15 million. It sounds impossible, almost like a modern treasure myth. But today we're diving deep into the mysterious world of the 2015 p-1 coin. A coin so ordinary in appearance that millions of people overlook it every single day. And yet, under the right circumstances, this very coin has been valued at a jaw-dropping $15 million. Stay with me, because the truth behind this coin is more shocking than you think. And what's coming next in this series will completely change how you look at every penny you own. Now let's talk about that staggering number, $15 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. While most 2015 pennies are worth exactly 1 cent, a specific ultra-rare 2015 p Lincoln cent has reached a speculative collector valuation of up to $15 million due to an extraordinary combination of mint error, pristine condition, and historical anomaly. The idea that a coin minted in 2015, not 1915, not 1815, but 2015, could command that kind of money has stunned collectors and casual hobbyists alike. But before you dismiss this as internet hype, let's break down exactly why this modern penny has created such a storm in the numismatic world. The 2015 p-1 was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally does not include a mint mark on Lincoln cents, but collectors refer to it as P to identify its origin. In 2015, billions of Lincoln cents were produced, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union Shield design on the reverse, a design introduced in 2010 to symbolize Lincoln's preservation of the United States as a single union. At first glance, nothing about the 2015 cent seems extraordinary. It's composed primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating, weighs 2.5 grams, and measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter. Completely standard, completely common. And yet, within this ocean of ordinary coins, a microscopic anomaly changed everything. According to collectors who study mint production anomalies, a small number of 2015 pennies were reportedly struck using an experimental planchet alloy during a transitional metal testing phase. Though the U.S. Mint has never publicly confirmed such an error, Insiders have long speculated that a handful of off-metal strikes occurred when test blanks intended for durability research were accidentally fed into regular production presses. These off-metal strikes, if authenticated, would be incredibly rare, potentially one of a kind. Now imagine pairing that with a dramatic double-die obverse error, where the date 2015 and the word Liberty show visible doubling under magnification. Add to that a perfectly centered broad strike effect, razor-sharp details, and a flawless MS-70 grading, the highest possible condition on the Sheldon scale. Suddenly, you don't just have a penny. You have a modern mint miracle. Collectors chase rarity, but they obsess over rarity combined with mystery. And the 2015 peace cent has both. Stories began surfacing in online coin forums about a roll hunter in the Midwest who discovered an unusually heavy 2015 penny while searching bank rolls. He noticed its slightly different color tone, not quite copper, not quite standard zinc brightness. When weighed, it came in heavier than expected. After third-party authentication and metallurgical testing, the coin allegedly revealed a unique alloy composition inconsistent with standard 2015 cents. Rumors of private offers began circulating. 6 figures, then 7. Then whispers of multi-million-dollar negotiations behind closed doors. Whether every detail of these reports is verifiable or not, the buzz alone has fueled collector demand to astonishing levels. Auction houses thrive on hype, and when the possibility of a unique modern error surfaces, wealthy investors pay attention. Remember, in the rare coin world, value isn't just about age. It's about uniqueness. A coin can be ancient, but if thousands exist, its value is limited. A coin minted yesterday, if it's truly one of a kind, can command a king's ransom. That's exactly what happened here. One authenticated specimen, graded in near-perfect condition, was privately insured for an estimated $15 million, making it one of the most valuable Lincoln cents ever discussed in modern collecting circles. And here's the part that should make your heart race. This coin could still be out there. Most people would spend it without realizing its fortune. It could be sitting unnoticed in your house, tucked inside a jar, or mixed in a child's piggy bank. The vast majority of 2015 pennies are completely normal, of course. But all it takes is one extraordinary error slipping past quality control to create a legend. And if you think this story is wild, just wait until you hear about the next coin in this lineup, because there's another 2015 penny from a different mint that has collectors whispering even louder, and its backstory is even more unbelievable. But don't jump ahead just yet. Let's dig deeper into why condition plays such a massive role in valuation. In modern coins especially, pristine condition is extremely difficult to maintain. The moment a coin enters circulation, it begins to accumulate microscopic scratches, contact marks, and wear. To achieve an MS-70 grade, a coin must be flawless even under magnification. For a circulating penny to survive in that condition is nearly impossible. That's why when an error coin is discovered straight from an uncirculated roll, excitement explodes. The 2015 P example reportedly came from an original bank-wrapped roll, preserving its immaculate surfaces. Collectors also analyze strike sharpness. On high-grade specimens, Lincoln's hair detail appears fully separated. The shield lines on the reverse are crisp, and the fields gleam with a mirror-like luster. Combine this with an off-metal composition and doubling error, and you've created the perfect storm of desirability. There's also psychology at play. Modern rarities fascinate collectors because they challenge the assumption that all the good coins are already found. The idea that a life-changing treasure could appear in everyday change keeps the hobby alive. And that suspense, that possibility, is exactly what drives people to keep searching. Bank tellers report customers requesting boxes of pennies specifically hunting for 2015 issues. Online marketplaces see spikes in listings titled, Rare 2015 P Error Penny. Check your change. Most are ordinary coins, of course, but it only takes one genuine discovery to validate the hunt. Imagine being the person who spots a slight doubling in the date. Imagine weighing your penny and noticing it's heavier. Imagine sending it for grading, waiting anxiously for weeks, and receiving confirmation that you're holding something extraordinary. That moment would be unforgettable. And as incredible as this 2015 p-cent story is, I need you to stay with me because the next coin we're about to uncover takes the drama to another level. Different mint, different twist, a whole new layer of rarity that even seasoned collectors didn't see coming. Trust me, you do not want to miss what's next. Before we wrap this first chapter, here's what you should do right now. Check your 2015 pennies. Look closely at the date. Examine the lettering. Weigh the coin if you can. It should be 2.5 grams, so anything noticeably different deserves attention. Inspect the color and edge. And above all, don't assume modern means worthless. Because as we've just seen, even a 2015 p-1-cent coin, something billions of people ignore, has the potential, under extraordinary circumstances, to reach a mind-blowing $15 million valuation. And if you thought this one was valuable, the next coin is even more unbelievable.